It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. 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 When I see you again.
How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
I see you again.
We've come a long way,
Yeah, we came a long way
from where we began.
You know, we started.
Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
Let me tell you.
When I see you again. It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. 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 When I see you again.
How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
I see you again.
We've come a long way,
Yeah, we came a long way
from where we began.
You know, we started.
Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
Let me tell you.
When I see you again. It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all.
So talking news and politics tonight, the Coalition of Independents hosting their first national convention over the weekend, shaking things up at the leadership level and ratifying their constitution. Tyler Simonette has the details.
The Coalition of Independents seeking to solidify their space in the political sphere by hosting their first national convention. The one-day convention was held over the weekend, where the COI had their constitution officially ratified and elections. Lincoln Bain, who was voted as the party's leader, says he's proud to see how far-reaching the COI has become.
It means that the people have confidence in us. We've watched our numbers of supporters grow over the years because people know that we're the party that believes in the Bahamian people and believes in putting Bahamians first. We've seen our rallies swell in support. We've seen motorcades that have swollen in support, and a lot of Bahamians are disenfranchised, and this is the party that's not just about being a party. This is a party that's for us, the Bahamian people, that's going to look out for us, not oligarchs, not a specific party or cronies. We are going to look out for all Bahamians this time. And so we welcome all Bahamians who want to see change in this country to join us.
Maria Daxon is also no longer the COI's deputy leader, with Dr. Veronica McIver taking over that position. Dr. McIver calls this convention a historic moment as the COI prepares to hit the campaign trail.
This is the first convention we've already had, and this is the first time we've, like I said, had a constitution that we were able to ratify. So now we are officially a political party in the Bahamas, and we plan to hit the campaign trail as soon as possible. Messaging is going to be the most important thing. The people are going to have to know what our message is and identify with that. And we would like to show them that we are separate and apart from the two mainstream parties, and that we don't want to keep the people dumb and poor anymore. So we're going to be focusing on messaging and getting our.
The COI's newly appointed shadow ministers of education and finance also share their vision for their ministries if elected.
Well, definitely one of the key areas would be transparency. Okay, and most of the Bahamian people believe that we are not transparent with them, and they talk about corruption, mismanagement, those kind of things. Those are the things that we'll be looking to deal with firsthand.
My goal is to put in place a 50-year plan to ensure that by the third or fourth year, this D average would have been long gone, and we could have a brighter future for our children, because, I mean, we can't go on like this. The country has come to the point where there's a lot of corruption and stuff that been going on, and we don't want our children to suffer, through taxes and the sort.
As for what the COI has to say to their critics, Deputy Chairman Charlotte Green says they're here for the long haul.
What I have to say to them is basically, I can understand how persons would feel about a third party, seeing the track records of third parties in our country's history. But where we are today, we are that party that plans on staying here, that plans on standing up and fighting for the people based on our vision that we have for this country. So we're here to stay.
Tyler Simonet, Eyewitness News.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for spending your time with us. We always appreciate you and appreciate your presence. We have a lot to talk about today, so please share, A lot of people don't get their lives anymore, and we need to make sure that they're able to participate and hear exactly what is going on. But ladies and gentlemen, uh, we've had an amazing weekend, and we're going to talk about that a little bit, and then we're going to get to the topic of the day, which is the truth about Maria Daxon. And so we'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to put the chat on your screen so that you can see the chats no matter what platform you're on. We're broadcasting from Facebook on Lincoln Bain, Bahamian Evolution, and the Coalition of Independence, from YouTube on the same pages, and Instagram, and Twitter, and LinkedIn. All right, so you can get us on any one of these platforms. All right, so yeah, so this is going to be a bittersweet one for me. This is going to be a tough one because of the topic that we have to talk about. But sometimes you have to deal with tough situations and move on. All right, so that's what we have to do today. But it won't be easy for me, of course, because of what is involved and because of who is involved. All right, so I put the charts up there on your screen so you can see what's really going on. So, first of all, I want to say that I want to thank everyone who contributed to our convention this weekend. It was a fabulous event. It was long coming. It was supposed to be from last year, and we had to postpone it. I think it was last year, November 18th, it was supposed to be, or somewhere around there. And we had to um, postpone it because of the death of Obi Wilchcombe, and that we predicted that election would be there. And then while we were campaigning, team had switched it to March. We realized that that was in the middle of Lent, and so we put it to April 13th as our final date so that we could officially launch our party on April 13th. And that is what we did. It was a fabulous affair. I'm proud of what we were able to accomplish. It was an accomplishment, and I really want to thank everyone who made that happen. Of course, we won't be able to call all of your names, but we really want to thank you for your contributions and making it happen. For all of our supporters for coming out, and you did come out. We want to thank our delegates who traveled from all over this country and from other countries to be a part of what we were doing. Persons traveled from all of the Bahamian Islands, from the United States, Canada. People traveled from everywhere to be a part of what we were doing. I would like to say that I am extremely proud of what we were able to accomplish as a people. I am extremely proud. Thank you so much for your efforts, and thank you for being there with us to get this started. You made this happen. You made this possible, and it could not be possible without you. Thank you so much, and God bless all of you who made this happen. We thank you to the delegates. We had some tough decisions to make at our convention, which we're going to cover in a minute. Because we're a party that believes in transparency, I put myself as a leader out to the public every single week, every Sunday at 5 p.m., so that people can ask questions. If people are talking to their family and they have stuff they don't understand, I put myself forward every week. No other leader in this country does that. If there's something that people have against me or any gripe they have against me, I put myself forward to answer any questions that persons may have on a weekly basis. That's because we have nothing to hide, and we are transforming the country into transparency and accountability. And that's where we're going, and that is what we are going to continue to do. So here we are. But ladies and gentlemen, just before we get started with our topic, we had a fabulous event in the morning. In the morning, we brought in all of our delegates. It was a private affair where only our delegates were allowed to be a part of it, and they came out and they represented. In the evening, Bahamians came out in droves. We had a fabulous affair where persons, we had a good time. We had the entertainers. KB was there. KB put on a fabulous show. And I am so proud of everything that you guys accomplished. We look forward to more conventions. I could do that every year. Forget the 2 year thing. I could do that every year. All right. So, um, all right. So, we had some giveaways. We had some giveaways also at the convention. We had a lovely lady that actually won a car. We had a lady that won a car. Um, that was phenomenal, and we had persons who won other amazing prizes. Um, I was so happy for that lady who won the car. I mean, I was beyond overjoyed for her. Let me pull it up and see. She wasn't there at the convention at the time, but someone called her and she found her way down there, and so we were so happy for her. We were so happy for her. Here she is. So someone called her from the family island and said, "Your name just called for the raffle. Go get your Jeep, your SUV." And so she came down there to get. And so we're so very happy for her. I mean, we're glad we were able to put a smile on the face of one Bahamian and give them something that they could be proud of. And Miss Tina, we hope you enjoyed your vehicle. She was able to drive it off and go home with her SUV. So I just want you to know that we are real. So the next time we have a raffle, make sure you get your ticket and buy plenty of tickets. The amazing story about Tina is that she literally bought tickets for other persons in her family. And the person who was selling her the tickets said, "No, this last one, put your name on that." And she put her name on the last one. And guess what? The last one came. And so the one ticket she put her name on was the one that came. I guess it's blessings because of her generosity. And so we're so happy for her. We had another lovely lady who won $250. $250. And we had another, see if we can find it there. Oh, wrong picture. We had another, oh Lord, can't locate the picture. We had another lady that won $300. We delivered that to her also. All right, so, and we had persons that won televisions and all kind of other prize. People won Fire Sticks with 6 months of Extreme TV on it. Extreme TV has over 35,000 movies, over 20,000 TV stations, all the stations from around the world, and over like 6,500 TV series on there. And someone won 6 months free of that. And so we were so happy for them. And there was all kind of other prizes. And so persons got to have a good time. So for all of you who participated, God bless you. We love you. And we are looking forward now to getting on the road and doing what we have to do. Before we talk about that, we have to deal with the situation. I'm not one who is ever afraid to deal with situations and take them on head on. I just want to say to all of you who are watching this that we need to keep our eyes on the prize. Do not be distracted by what's happening around you. All right? Keep your eyes on the prize. As simple as that. But I have to answer to my people. The fact of the matter is, we saw that there was a lot of rumors swirling out there all over, and we're not afraid to address situations like other political parties. Sometimes it's best to ignore things so you don't get caught up in the mix. But we saw people spreading misinformation, so we had to give the general facts because a lot of our supporters were not at that session, that morning session to see what went down. So they really don't understand our duty to make sure that our people, as best as we can, understand exactly what's going on. All right, we believe in transparency and accountability is something we speak about. I want to talk about Maria Daxon for a second. Maria Daxon is a lady who has been around me, but I didn't know her until I went into into activism personally. I grew up through the same street in Pinewood Gardens with her, the exact same street, a few houses down. I didn't know her then because she's like 10 years my senior. So when I was 10, she was like 20. And I didn't really know her. I mean, I was in no company at the time. She went to Prince Williams High School, and I went to Prince Williams High School. Again, not at the same time. She joined the police force, and then I joined the police force. And she went to law school, and then I went to law school in England. We were in England at the same time at law school, different schools. And then I came back and I went into activism. And I was in activism before law school, but I went hard into activism. And then when she came back from law school, after being on the force and having experience there, she went into activism also. And eventually we crossed paths. Maria is a person who has been fighting for Bahamians for many years now. And to me, she's a Bahamian hero. She's someone who has courageously fought both administrations and stood up against their corruption and the things that they have been doing. And do people make mistakes? Yes, all of mistakes. Has she made mistakes in her life? Yes, she's made mistakes. Have I made mistakes? Yes, all of us have. But I think you look at the good and the bad. Everyone in the Bible has good and bad. The thing I like about the Bible versus in politics they try to hide the bad about people as if you're supposed to be. And then they try to throw the bad that people do and use it to disqualify them. But I like what the Bible does. The Bible shows the good and the bad of every man in the Bible. And every man in the Bible has sinned. Everyone except Christ himself. But the Bible shows that. It shows their good and it shows their bad. It shows that Noah was a great man who saved humanity, but he was a drunkard. And it showed his shortfalls. It showed Moses' shortfall. It showed Moses' shortfall and his sins and his consequences for it. It showed Elijah, the greatest of the most powerful of the prophets. It showed his shortfall, and he ran and hid in the cave instead of coming out and doing what God asked him to do. It showed the shortfall of a man of God's own heart, David. Everyone has good and bad, all of us. But politicians try to paint themselves as perfect and then try to throw mud on other persons to make it seem like you shouldn't follow. Has done a lot of good in the society. And I think, to be honest with you, I think that this last incident has actually vindicated Maria. What do I mean by that? I think that Maria is vindicated. She's made some mistakes in her life, like all of us have. I have, for sure. But I think this vindicated her. And it's no vindication like when your enemy is forced to sing your praises. That is the greatest vindication of all. That those who are speaking down about you, those who are beating you down and beating you up, when they have to speak well about you and they have to come to your rescue, that is an amazing form of vindication. Because the same people who up to last week, up to the day of our convention, the day before, the week of convention, who for years were attacking Maria, beating her down. And I want to say this before I say what I have to say. Were beating her down and criticizing her in every way. Those same people are now the people who are singing her praises. All right? And so I think this is the ultimate vindication for Maria, because all of those trolls who were attacking her last week, they are now defending her. She's a great woman to them now, and rightfully so. They're singing her praises and focusing on the good that she has done. focusing on her being a great woman who stands up for the people. And so I'm glad that that is now happening. And so to all of those trolls who didn't get it before, now you get it. That's a woman who, despite whatever criticisms you might have of her, that's a woman who is sacrificing herself. All right, sacrificing herself for the Bahamian people. And so I think those trolls actually canceled themselves out and showed their hypocrisy up to this time, and that they would be willing to say anything without thinking to spin their narrative. But there are a lot of our members, and that's why I'm doing this live, for our members who were hearing things out there and they wanted someone to speak up on it. All right. So let's get on with that. When we decided to have an election last year, a convention last year, we had several meetings, and we decided on, of course, what is supposed to happen, how we would do it, what the criteria would be. We had to put some in place to protect ourselves from being infiltrated. We had to make sure that no one came in on nomination day or registration period and all of a sudden came and signed up for membership and then said, okay, I'm now a member, I want to be in your closed meeting. Or I'm now a member, I want to recommend a PLP troll to be your chairman. All right, I won't call any of those names. And so we had to protect ourselves because we're a new party. We don't know everybody who is a supporter or part of this party yet, unlike the PLP and FNM. We had to put some things in place. And so we put some rules in place and some criteria in place. And we did that as an executive body. All right. We also started drafting our constitution. We put some of those rules in our constitution. But the constitution wouldn't take effect really until April 13th. And so nomination day came along. We had a convention committee. I was not a part of the convention committee. I attended a few of their meetings in case they had questions for me on opinions on certain things, but they planned everything. They decided where we would go, what would happen, the design, everything. I was not a part of that. But the executive committee planned out everything that they did. All right. So some of the decision making I contributed to. So just to be clear. Now we had our nomination day, and on that day we opened up registration and we opened up nominations, where our delegates would be able to come in and nominate the person of their choice. We provided a link for persons in other countries or other islands to be able to, who delegates to be able to nominate persons. All right. And it was, again, a fabulous affair. The committee did a great job in doing it. Persons came in and persons started to nominate persons. And it was a great day. So we had to take those nominations that happened on that day. All right. And many people were nominated. Some people were nominated many times because, remember, it was a digital process. So some people, I might have been nominated 10 or 20 times, right? I don't know the exact number, but I only needed one nomination. All right. So it doesn't matter how many times I was nominated. I was nominated. Persons nominated Maria Daxon as deputy. Persons nominated Charlotte Green and other persons for that position. And so the next step was going to the executive, having a meeting. So they had a meeting on Monday to go over all the people who were nominated. And for those people, we had to check to see if they qualified. And then the committee had to call each person to see if they accepted the nomination. Because I could have nominated someone and they don't accept. And so there were persons who were nominated and they said, no, they can't take on the responsibility right now, or they prefer another role. And so persons did not, in some cases, a couple of cases, did not accept. So that was a part of the process. But all of the executives met on Monday, and Maria Daxon was a part of that meeting on Monday. So Saturday was the the nomination day, and Monday we met to go over the names to make sure everyone qualified. So the first thing was you had to make sure that they paid up their dues. They were paid up financial, like every party does, and that they filled all the qualifications. That the persons who nominated them qualified, and that the person who seconded them qualified. This is a normal process. And so we went through all of the names. There are some people who did not qualify, and those persons were disqualified because either they weren't paid up. We had one gentleman from Grand Bahama who was nominated, and he was only paid up to January, so he didn't fit the mustard, so he had to be eliminated. All right. And so there were a couple persons who didn't qualify, and so they had to be removed. When we got to Maria's name, in fact, they went through my name, they checked to see if I qualified, they checked to see if I was paid up, they checked everything with everyone. When they got to the other persons running against Maria, Faith Pasenti, they checked, she had fully qualified and everything she was supposed to do. Veronica MacGyver was also nominated. They checked to make sure she qualified, did everything she was supposed to do. And then when they got to Maria's name, she did not qualify. She did not fill all the requirements. So she was there. So, they asked her if she, filled the requirements, and she said no. And she's basically, she didn't feel that she had to, because leaders shouldn't have to be put through that process. I personally disagreed because I went through the process, and I feel that everyone should be equal. And that's just the way it is. And so we went over it, and she basically told us to make whatever decisions we want, and she left. She left the meeting at that point early. And so we did not come to final conclusions. And later we started hearing people saying that Maria was removed from the ballot and this kind of stuff, that Maria was moved from the ballot. The ballots, there were no ballots. So just to be clear, Maria was never removed from any ballot. Maria was not removed from any ballot because there was no ballot until the convention. At the convention is when you will have your final ballot. All right. That's when the final ballot will be prepared. We did it digitally, so we did not have to print any papers up with people's name on it ahead of time. So for people who were saying that Maria was removed from a ballot, that is not the truth. We did not decide on the ballot until we went to convention that morning. So when we went to convention that morning, at convention that morning, we went through the ratification of the process of the Constitution. The Constitution, there were some questions. Some people said we only put it out 2 days before, and some people might not have a chance to read it. Someone said that, I was told that Maria said that some people had problems with some things in the Constitution. When we said, okay, then we can bring those things to the table, address those items and have those items removed, or if it's something persons wanted added, then you add it there, and then you walk out with the Constitution. But it seemed like there was someone who wanted the Constitution to not be ratified at all. All right, and so a delegate came up with a suggestion that what we can do is ratify the Constitution, and then we could have it so that in a month's time, at the first council meeting, we will, any edits we want to make to it, we'll be free to make those edits. And at that time, after persons have had a longer time to read over it. And by the way, the Constitution is only 22 pages, which is only about 20-minute read for average readers. All right. And if you don't include the table of contents, it's about an 18-minute read. All right. So I'm sure persons have watched sitcoms for a half hour or watch the news. I think persons could take 18, 20 minutes instead of going through WhatsApp messages all day and read the Constitution because it's important. But we gave persons a month, and so that's where we are now. So the Constitution was then unanimously ratified. Everyone agreed to ratify it. We did a vote. It was ratified, and it was unanimous. No one did any. No one voted against it. So then we had to move to the point of going to the elections. At that point, I took the floor and I addressed the people to let them know of the circumstance. The truth of the matter is I did not have to, because really and truly, Maria did not qualify at that point, and we could have just had her excluded from the ballot that was to come. But instead, we addressed it to the people, all right? And Maria had previously asked me to bring it to the people, and I did just that. I did not leave it for anyone else to do it. As a leader, I decided to take that stance, and we discussed it. I think we could have been discussing that for probably 4 or maybe even 5 hours. We went over our regular schedule, but for at least 4 hours, we allowed everyone to say their piece and everyone to discuss what happened, what their opinion was. And of course, I'm not going into every detail with all of this, but we allowed everyone to discuss. Everyone had the floor. I had the floor. Other executives had the floor. Maria had the floor. Other persons spoke, said their opinions, and they gave their suggestions of what should happen. And at the end of it, we decided to put it to a vote of the people, because there was back and forth. There were some people who felt like, if Maria didn't qualify, that was the rule, that we shouldn't break that rule. Then there were people who felt that because of who Maria is, she's the deputy, she was there from the beginning, we should break the rule for her. She should not have to qualify in any way. I personally disagreed with that. To be honest with you, I felt and I expressed that if we put rules in place and we are beating down the PLP and FNM for accountability and transparency, that we have to be different. And if a rule is put in place, then we have to follow that rule. And that's what many people felt there. We let the other persons who were running speak. Dr. Veronica McIver spoke. Faith Pesenti spoke. Faith Pesenti said that she feels that, if she wins, if we do this, if she wins, she will continue to work hard for this party and do what she has to do. If she doesn't win, she will continue to work hard for this party, she has to do. But if she is disenfranchised because we put someone on the ballot who did not qualify, even though she had to do everything she had to do to qualify, she feels that she cannot be a part of a party that breaks the rules. And that was her stance. But she said if we do it the right and honest way, that if she wins or lose, she will continue to work hard for the party. And that was her stance, all right? And so at the end of the day, we decided to put it to a vote. After hours of discussion, we put it to a vote of the people, and the vote was unanimous by the delegates of the Coalition of Independents. Every single person voted. It was who was in favor, remain seated, who was against, stand up. No one stood up. And the vote was unanimous that we should not change the rules to allow Maria Daxon to be added to the ballot, even though she didn't qualify. And so that was a decision of the delegates of the convention. That was not a decision of Lincoln Bain, and that was not a decision of the executives of this party. I want to make that clear, okay? And there are persons on this live who are delegates, and you all can speak up on the chat if you were there. And you can say what you have to say. What was made clear when we spoke is that Maria is a champion. She's a national hero. We all love Maria. And I made that clear that this was one of the most difficult decisions of my life, because I always am going to stand with what is right. I'm always going to stand with what is right, and it doesn't matter who it is. And a mistake was made, and we have to live by that mistake. Um, Everyone should be subject to the law. This is what we champion. We can't go against that. We champion this. When the government was refusing to question an MP who was accused of rape, et cetera, we beat them down. When the government is not following the Procurement Act and going against the Procurement Act, even though it was the law, because they said we could just vote to change the law. We go into the House of Assembly to change the law anyway, so we ain't got to follow this law. That was like us saying, okay, we're going to just change the law because someone we love didn't qualify, and then it'll be okay. And that was a stance that many persons there were not willing to take. Okay? And that is the reality of it. We were disturbed when we heard all of these things out there. And I will say that no one champions uh, accountability and following the law like Maria Daxon. Nobody in this country. And so that, I guess, was one of the things that delegates had to consider. Instead of, and like I said, everybody in the room sat down. So it was unanimous. And that includes Maria Daxon, who did not stand up, or anyone else. All right? And so we heard people saying things like, they were trying to overthrow Maria. The PLP has been saying this from last year, and this kind of nonsense. They want to put Dr. MacGyver there. I will say to you that Dr. MacGyver never wanted to run for deputy. Never. That was not her interest. She was never interested. Persons asked her even up to nomination morning, and she said no. She said no. At the end of the day, she didn't see Maria show up to nomination morning. And so at that point, persons asked her to do it, and she accepted because she didn't see Maria show up that day. All up to this time, she only sang Maria's praises, and she only helped Maria in every way she can. In every way she can. Of course, I won't talk personal stuff. And she was a strong supporter of Maria Daxon. In fact, with the convention coming up about 4 weeks before convention, she approached Maria and said, listen, we gotta work on a PR for you. She was going to spend $12,000 of her money. That was the starting price. She already spoke to Movie Group, calling names so persons could cross-check. She spoke to Movie Group. She was going to spend $12,000 of her own personal money to give Maria a makeover, new wardrobe, everything, so that she could transform into a presidential look, coming out of a convention, because we plan on going right into taking this country. And she was going to pay Movie Group whatever it took in order to get this done, to do a documentary to show the good about Maria, about her past, let people talk about her and portray her as a hero. And eventually the executive said, we have a lot of expenses as it relates to the convention. So instead of doing that for a documentary, et cetera, and makeover, we'll do that afterwards. We'll pay for that afterwards, and focus our efforts on bringing in this vehicle and doing everything else we had to do. No one is going to spend that kind of money on you if they want to overthrow you. All right? No one is going to spend that kind of money on you if they're going to overthrow you. And so persons were saying a lot of things. I consider that is not true. Of course, I think that the PLP from last year was afraid of that outcome. So, of course, they tried to preempt it by saying, MacGyver is going to take over from Maria, et cetera, because I think they were afraid of it, and so they wanted to preempt that. But there was no discussion at no point about what they're talking about. There was no one plotting on anybody. But the truth of the matter is, if persons decide in a democratic organization that they want to have a different leader or deputy leader or chairman, they have a right to do that. They have a right to plan for that. They have a right to campaign for that. That's not a bad thing. That's not any kind of skullduggery. That's a democratic process. If persons decide that we don't like Tommy Turnquest, he's not cutting the mustard, we want to bring Hubert Ingram back, that's your right to do so. I think your party will survive that. If someone decides that, okay, we prefer Perry Christie over Bernard Nottage, and Bernard Nottage gets up and he decides to leave, then that's their choice. You have a right. That's what democracy is about. That is not the case, but even if that were the case, if someone decided that we want to move in a different direction, then if everyone is entitled who has the position, why have a convention? Why have elections? The fact of the matter is, Maria Daxon is still a part of this party, as far as I know, all right? Unless she starts to do things that are against the party. She's still a part of this party. She is still planning on running for Bamboo Town, I assume, all right? And she is still the shadow minister of national security. And so she is still able to do anything that she plans on doing, and she still is a part of this party. You know, I can respect the Tommy Turnquest who said, you know what, the people made their choice. They voted. I don't like how Ingram did what he did. But let's move on. And he was in Ingram's cabinet. You know, I could even respect the Shane Gibson. As much as they say about Shane Gibson, they did what they had to do. They protested. They said, Brave got to go. All that stuff they did. But then at the end of the day, he said, listen, I'm going to do this for my party. All right. And he came on the stage with Kingsley after all that he said. He stood for his party. And I think that we as a people have to stand for our country. That's what we have to do. We have to stand up for our country, because if we don't stand up for our country, what else do we have? All right. And so I can say that, you know, people were saying, even we heard voice notes, and I'm just being transparent. And I'm going to open the phone lines in case someone doesn't agree with anything I have to say or has any questions or anything that they don't have to understand. All right. People were saying things like Veronica McIver, as a newcomer, she just reached, she's a plant by the PLP, and you know, all manner of things that people were saying. Veronica McIver is not a newcomer to this party. Veronica McIver was here before this party was formed. Veronica McIver was actually a part of this movement before Maria Daxon was. Veronica McIver was there from Bahamian Evolution, from the very first protests, from the very first one. She was right there in the crowd. All right. And so I don't know what I'm talking about. She's been here. She's been putting in work. Like all of us, she puts her money where her mouth is. And she actually puts in the work. In fact, all day today, Veronica was at the headquarters cleaning up, doing construction, getting dirty, which she always does. But there's things that people don't know because they're not on the inside. Veronica McIver is not a newcomer to this party, and she works in every way, and she's everything we're doing, she's a strong part of it and making sure it gets done, putting her professionalism in there. And so a lot of what you saw was Faith Bassetti and Veronica McIver when you watched that convention, and others who were part of this. So, and you can see that everything we do is professional. And so she's not a newcomer. She's not a plant by the PLP. And, you know, some people say, oh, she can't get down and with the common man and this and that. That's not what I've experienced. I was in Gambia and in Beantown. I've experienced her in Pinewood. I've experienced her everywhere dealing with regular people and showing them love. You know, she's someone who doesn't know how to say no. She has too much of a kind heart. Sometimes we have to rein her in and tell her, listen, man, you can't, you know, do for everybody. You know, I know you're trying, but you know, it could be problematic. Um, but she helps everyone. All right, everyone. I shouldn't, you know, and she doesn't brag about anything. Um, she doesn't brag about what she does, but others should. I've seen her fix a whole mouth of teeth for a supporter, thousands of dollars, thousands of dollars. They had some teeth issues, and she fixed basically their whole mouth. There are three people in our organization driving around in cars right now that Veronica McGyver bought for them because they need a car. One man, she bought a taxi for him to help him out. Another man, she was helping him open a business on a family island, giving him the money he needs to open a business. The woman is a loving, caring woman. She helps in a different way. You're not going to see her out there bragging about what she does, but she helps in her way. And people on the inside may see what's going on, but other people on the outside may just see her as someone who is polished and well spoken, etc., etc. But she knows how to get down with the people, and she loves people. All right, Maria loves people, and Veronica McGyver loves people. Now I'm going to say this. Someone made a comment that we wanted Veronica McGyver because of money. I think Veronica, there's no one person who could give a party all the money that they need. There's no one person who could have contributed everything that this party needs. There's no one person, all right, who could make all of this happen. A lot of people contribute, all right, and she's one thing. So don't start attacking her or saying that everything is about money. Someone said that we picked Veronica McGyver for money. Let me make this clear to all of you. I don't do anything for money, and I don't sell out. I always stand on principle. And all of our executives are like that. That's why we're taking the stand. First of all, there's nothing wrong if someone has money, had access to money, and so he wanted to be the deputy. There's nothing wrong with that. If they choose that this is a good marriage, you have Ingram who could get to the people and Brent Simonet who can get to certain other people, and he has money, and that's a political decision. And there's nothing wrong with that. You had Perry Christie who could get with the people, and you had Brave Davis who had access to a lot of money from wherever he got it from. And he helped out a lot of people in the PLP with that money that he got from wherever he got it from. And so that's not a problem. And so if persons chose to make a decision on who they want to work with for whatever reason, that's their choice. But I can tell you that 2 years ago, Veronica McGyver and another executive, they were executives. They were financial donors to the party, like others. And she was the secretary general. The other person was the treasurer. And I called a meeting. They weren't a good fit for that role. And I removed them from that role. Had nothing to do with money. I didn't say, okay, you can't touch them because they're giving money, et cetera, et cetera. I removed them from that role. And we put them in another role where they were more suited. That's called leadership. I don't sell out for money. If I was going to sell out, I would have taken the money from the PLP last year and the position. Money don't move me, and money doesn't move us. All right? So just wanted to make that abundantly clear to everyone who is watching this. We love Maria. As far as I know, she is still loyal to the party. I just personally, I'll be honest with you, and you know, I don't put my job in block for much people, but I'll take that risk right now. I honestly don't believe I honestly don't believe that after mashing up the F&M and PLP for all these years, over a decade, that Maria Daxon would go to the F&M and PLP. All right? I can't see that happening. As far as I know, she's still a part of this organization. She felt hurt because of how everything transpired, and I have to say her part of it. She felt like she wasn't reminded, one, of the rules or properly informed of the rules. She felt she wasn't reminded of nomination day, um, and that she should have had a courtesy reminder. Um, and so that's to be fair based on what she had put forward. All right. Um, but I don't see Maria ever going back to the F&M or the PLP, who she's been destroying for over a decade now, and informing the people of their crookedness and how both of them are the same. I don't see it. All right. So if she does it, um, I, I, I would be shocked. All right. I wouldn't know who that person is. I don't think Maria would do that. I think she's still going to continue to fight for the Bahamian people. She doesn't have the position of deputy leader anymore, but she was fighting for people before she was a deputy leader of anything or even running for anything. And so I think she's going to continue to fight for the Bahamian people. I think we love her. She's well loved in the party. And so I, I want to say to Maria again that I love you. We had to make a strong stance, and it was based on the qualifications alone, nothing else. All right. There are people who put some things forth about her performance, etc., but that had nothing to do with this situation and whether she was able to qualify. So, if you just the issue was Maria did not qualify um, to be nominated. She was nominated, but there were several people, not just Maria. There were other persons who didn't qualify. Some of them were with us from the beginning before we started a party. They were with us from the beginning, and there was nothing that we could do because there were rules put in place. Every delegate had to qualify. Every delegate had to qualify. You had to make sure you were paid up, etc. Persons made sure they did that. I announced the rules. I read the rules right here on my live. We posted them on. We posted them on our uh, our website, and I don't know what else to say. All right. And so that's the fact of the matter. Maria, again, is loved. She's loved in this party. And we hope that she has the willpower to move forward with the party and continue doing what she's doing. As far as we're concerned, she's still a part of the party. But nonetheless, if she decides to move on, we wish her our greatest blessings. She is a Bahamian hero to me. And we will continue to move forward and take this country back. We prefer to do it with her because we want her to be the person to lock up the crooked politicians that we have been practicing and waiting for all this time. So hopefully she can take that role. She's still our security minister of national security. She will still be our now if she wants to, but that choice is up to her. All right. So just wanted to make sure that we were totally accountable to our people. The thing with our party is we reach our people through this live broadcast. And so we can't have a closed meeting because a lot of our people are in different places. And so that means that other persons can hear us talking to each other and hear our business. But we don't have a problem with that because we are transparent. So Maria, we love you. We won't stop loving you. Find it in your heart to move on, and and let's get back to doing the business of the Bahamian people. All right. So we heard some people saying stuff like, the PLP had some stuff on Lincoln, and they was just waiting for the right time to bring it out. Listen to me. Um, uh, I don't care what the PLP has on me. Whenever you bring that out, let me tell you what else to bring out. Bring out our sovereign wealth fund for all of our people to benefit, because nothing you say or do about me is going to stop me from fighting for the payments to benefit directly from our sovereign wealth fund that y'all stole and turned into an investment fund that private persons can invest in and own our sovereign wealth fund. We didn't need a national investment fund for the sovereign wealth fund to be able to invest. There are sovereign wealth funds that invest in sports teams, in soccer teams, in buildings all over the world. So they could have invested privately, but y'all wanted to steal from it and have ownership in it, and that's what y'all did. But this fight is not over. So bring that. When you bring whatever you bring our carbon credits back, eh? Make sure that we can control and benefit from our carbon credits. We're not into gossip. No one is interested in gossip, because when I come with the facts, the documentation, and I don't deal with your personal lives. All right? I don't care about who Fred Mitchell is sleeping with or not sleeping with. I don't care about any politicians and their personal business. I don't care about any of this stuff. I care about how y'all are dealing with our public affairs. And so bring our carbon credits back, eh? And while you're at it, instead of wasting your time on me, build on a hospital for us, eh? Can we do that? Can you do that? Can you give us our hospital? Can you give us reliable electricity? Can you give us some sensible roads? Because all Fred Mitchell is advising his trolls to do, he's in full control of them. Just go and spread mud. Just throw dirt. And so they can stop talking about this legitimate stuff. We cannot argue with them on the carbon credits, the sovereign fund, et cetera, et cetera. Just throw mud. Listen to me. I don't care what y'all have to say with me. Nothing y'all can say with me that y'all ain't say yet. PLP. Nothing that y'all can say that y'all ain't say yet. Y'all make up lies with me every single day. I don't have time to focus on that. I am only focused on giving the Bahamian people what is ours. Put us first. We see y'all giving away this country. We see it every day. And Bahamians being kicked out of this country. All right? So I'm going to open the phone lines. We're going to open the phone lines. So persons, if they have questions, et cetera, you're free to call if you have any questions. All right? And then we can go from there. And after I'm finished with this, I'm putting this to bed. Whoever wants to continue with this, because I want you to notice that it's only the PLP trolls who are pushing this, because they see it as an opportunity to cause confusion and spread mud and this and that. So it's them who are pushing this on the instructions, I believe, of Fred Mitchell. All right. So once they see it ain't working, they'll back off, because we don't care about this stuff. We are moving on. All right. We're moving on. So we're going to open the phone lines. And I'm going to put it up here. Let's see. And if someone is texting and they're scared to call, don't waste time with them. Let's see. Okay, we're going to put the phone lines. 803-5995 is the phone number. 803-5995. 803-5995. Let's go. 803-595. 803-5995. All right. So let me make sure it's not on silent. Okay. I think that is up and running. All right, let me make sure. So you can call regular call or WhatsApp. Regular call or WhatsApp. Okay. Everything is up and running. So, okay. Here we go. Good evening. How you doing?
Hey, good evening, Mr. President.
Hi.
I'd like you to just do me one favor, man.
Yes.
Put the requirements up what Maria didn't meet. And please, man, let's move on, man. We ain't got no time for these jokes, man, Lincoln, man. Okay? Please, man, just put the requirement. Let everybody know the requirements.
Well, I'll just say the requirements from my head. I know the one requirement that she didn't meet. Yeah, I can do that. But you were in that room, and you were one of the persons who also voted to not bend the rules. And you saw that is what the delegates voted for, because all over social media they're making it seem like I did something to Maria or the executive did something to her, but the delegates decided on this, right?
Yes, sir. Chief.
All right.
I kissed Maria 3 times. And she understands. She not ready to move on, man. Just move on. We have a country to run, bro.
Yes, but we also got to be accountable. So a lot of our people weren't in that room, like you were in the room. So I just had to make sure that they won't be subject to all of those rumors that were spreading that we moved her for the Veronica McGive, et cetera, all right?
My sister Maria is hard enough, and I don't care what. Even if she move on, she's still going to fight for better. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, let's leave her alone and let's move on, man.
Of course. You know we love her. I love her and you love her.
I love it on my heart, man. You understand me?
And I'll say this because a lot of people weren't there. You jumped up and you said, you know, if anyone, and this is your words, if anyone is sucking a wife with Maria, they have a problem with you. Some people thought you cursed. They thought you said the F word. I just wanted to make it clear because some people thought you cursed, but you said you didn't curse. Right, but you stood up for Maria when the thing first started. But then when it was explained that she didn't meet the qualification, you said, no, if you didn't meet the qualification, we can't be like the PLP and FNL. Yeah.
You understand me? And Maria understand that Maria is a grown, disabled woman. She understand that, you know, only that this ain't no, you know, see why you running on with this nonsense, you know.
Yeah.
Probably just them two holes in the PLP who was in there.
All right.
Some PLP adjustment there. Okay?
All right.
Who's saying this PLP?
All right. Thank you. All right. So he said to put the qualifications up there. Let me see. Give me one sec. Yeah, I heard someone say that the delegates didn't have a chance to vote or some nonsense like that. That is absolutely not true, and we need to stop listening to rumors. Delegates made their decision, and that's what their decision was. The person who just called was a delegate who literally stood up, and when everything started, he said, if anyone played Maria, and he carried on bad, but then after he heard what the situation was, he said, no, we can't do rules. All right. And I respect that. But here we go. I'll share the screen. Yeah, I'll share my screen. So this is our website. On the website, you can see our Constitution. Our Constitution is posted there. I'll just take a little detour there quickly so you can see it. Our Constitution is posted here. Caller, just hold the line for 1 second while I show them the requirements with the caller asks, okay?
Okay.
All right, hold the line 1 second. All right, just hold the line. Turn whatever you're watching on, turn it down, please.
Yeah, okay, no problem.
All right, so right here is our Constitution. You can go and the whole Bahamas can go and see it. It's a beautiful document. It's an amazing document. You can go and look at it. Our preamble is something to see. All of our key points are there about the Constitution, and a summary of it is there. And we actually allow our delegates to be able to our financial delegates to be able to contribute to this, so that when we come back at our first council meeting, we will be able to make any edits. No party has ever done that before. But let's go back to right on the Constitution. See, the agenda was there. The nominations was there. And so this is the nomination process that said when the nominations was. All right. And right here, it had, if you were running for different positions, and it had the disqualification criteria. All right. Eligibility for leadership positions was there. This was a decision made again at the planning level at the executives. put this in there. And one of the criteria, because this is the one she really didn't qualify for, nominees for leader or deputy leader positions, which are governmental roles, are required to have at least applied to be a candidate in the forthcoming general election. All right. And so the reason we had to put that in place is because we didn't want anyone who the party doesn't know to just come. We didn't want someone just coming and saying, paying up, oh, I'm paid up member now, I nominate Leslie Miller. We wanted someone that the party knows because we're a new party. It made sense. At least you would have gone through, at least been interviewed or whatever by the candidates committee. They can see that you're serious, where you're headed, etc. And so you could be leader, deputy leader, etc. of this organization. Now, some persons say whoever was there before should just have entitlement to do it, but we were not a party before. This is new. We were independent candidates working together. Now we're forming a party, and we decided this process, and I was the first person to put in their nominations. I didn't say that I should have some entitlement. I made it clear to everybody that if I am the leader, I'm going to lead by example, and everyone else must follow that example. I said it on my live. I also made sure everyone understood that. I put in my nomination, and I was grilled by hours by the committee, and all of them were able to question me. They brought up everything. They dug up, they investigated whatever they needed to investigate, and they put it on the table, and I went through that, and I was the first because I'm a leader, and no one else should not go through that process. Charlotte Green went through that process, Dr. MacGyver, all of our candidates who ran last time who want to run again, all of them, Donna Major, Yvette Prince, Daphne Johnson, et cetera, all of them went through that same process. New people to the party who didn't run with us last time or who even ran against us last time were interviewed, and they went through that process. Okay, it was the rule. It was posted. To be fair, Maria said either she didn't remember, she didn't know, she wasn't informed, something like that. All right, just to be fair to her and what she had to say. We don't agree that someone who is a member of the executive shouldn't or wouldn't know what the rules are. So that's the rule that she didn't qualify for. And once delegates saw that, Maria agreed to certain things, the persons voted. All right. So I'll go to the phone lines. Good afternoon. You're live.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. President.
How you doing?
Mr. President, I'm doing great, and I'd just like to say, oh, my goodness, we have an awesome new deputy leader. Miss Dr. MacGyver, she's going to do well. And she needs to be encouraged also. And she needs to be thanked for stepping forward and getting into the process. And also, Frank Passetti, who was nominated for deputy leadership also. They need to be congratulated that they were nominated.
Yes.
Thing is, I know, I watched Marvin Evans live today. And Marvin Evans, the prophet, he didn't hold anything back. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, Marvin Evans had prophesied that this was going to happen. And if we are honest with ourselves, when we talk to the Bahamians in general, out in public, and you would have some people say, oh, you know what, we'll go to the COI, but if you change the deputy leader, okay? It is what it is. We love Maria Daxon. Maria is a fighter. She's an activist. She doesn't back down. She holds the government foot to the fire. She does that. But my thing is, if you go into leadership or whatever position, and you have a job and responsibility, and you're not accountable or hold up to that, then certain things happen. It happens everywhere. And what I was so thankful also, Saturday morning, walk into that ballroom and walk into that conference room and see the delegates from around the country. These young men and women, and then we have the elder ones who were there, a part of the coalition, who was there and ready to vote. The COI and what you did, Mr. Ben, you allow us, the people of the Bahamas, and the Constitution to take its course, which means that the law is the law. The standard is the standard. And there was no backing down, and we all had an opportunity to hear from board members. Maria was a part of the board, and there were certain things that board members said. See, I always want to say and remind myself that even if we did Saturday morning, it's our private in-house business. It was housekeeping, it was cleaning time, it was moving forward, it was the shuffle. Parties, political parties around the world shuffle. This was a shuffling of going into real battle to save our country, our nation, our people. People get hurt in different areas or whatever. People have said, if you can't cut bait, get out the boat. Right? This is not no game. This is battle. Leaders get hit. They get hit. Leaders rise up. Leaders take the blows and rise up. We are family. Things happen in families. People get disappointed in families. People have egos in families. Right? But if this is a God's move, God has sent a strong message. But the coalition of independence have set a precedent that we will abide by the law and by the rules and regulations and the standard that governs the coalition. But not only that, the Constitution that will govern the Bahamas, that we will abide.
So you were a delegate?
And that no one is above the law. The delegates voted. We voted. We the Bailey people. Lincoln Bailey is not to be blamed for what happened. Nobody else is to be blamed for what happened. This was Maria's responsibility, and she fell down on the job, right? She fell down on the job, but people do make mistakes, and people take for granted, but the delegates, I believe that we did what we were supposed to do, and we did according to what was presented to us. Maria also was there, and Maria stated her case. She stated her case, and even though it was an opportunity to say, okay, those who think that Maria should have about it sound or whatever, persons were not willing to move. The delegates were not willing to move. We were ready to set precedents in the party and for the country. And that's what we did. That's what we did. So I don't want anyone to believe that over Lincoln in and started and never, this is what they done and they blocked. No, that's not it. That didn't happen. That was the coalition of independence. Make no mistake. My name is Darren Lewis Stubbs, and I'm a delegate, and I was there, and I voted. And we all did, and it is what it is, and we love Maria Daxon. She's still family.
Yeah.
I'm still open for her. Love you guys. Good night, COI family.
All right. Thank you, man. Thank you. 803-5995 is the number. 803-5995 is the number. If you have any questions, issues, whatever, like I said, if you saw a person's commenting on there with something derogatory, encourage them to call in. I am here. I'm not answering no text. Call in. Let us hear you. Let's make sure you're a real person. And then let's go from there. All right. So let's go. Good afternoon. You're live.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Dick. How you doing?
I'm awesome, man. How you doing?
I'm great. I just want to say, first off, congratulations on such an awesome event, Saturday night.
Thank you.
I can tell you one thing with everybody. See, your honesty is what made people listen. What you did tonight, you didn't have to say that.
No.
But you did it out of honesty. And it shook some people because people are not used to honesty. And when you see certain things like that, you be like, wow, this probably is the right party, because if they do what's right to somebody who's being there by their side, and that they have an understanding of what we are fighting for, then this is the party. What I want to talk about too is validation. because you're being honest. I want to be honest because I see the comments and I see people are being kind of disgruntled of the way you try to, like, how should I say, defend your party and mostly also defend yourself. That's understandable, but I think you have to realize too that you reach a level that you don't have much experience because we see who posting these things and we remember that previous conversation of what's going on now and it makes no sense. And you see how, you reach a level that you don't even have to say anything. Your supporters already got you. They know the truth and they know, how should I say it? They know, what's the word? Anyway, they know who you are, basically. You understand what I'm saying? So when you come on and say, defend for almost half an hour, whatever, at some point, of course, we get it. I realize that, okay, yeah, people need to hear. But you reach a level that you need to do yourself out of all.
Thank you, man.
It's about fighting for the people because the people who see, understand, people that honesty, that is different. Being used to that.
All right, man. Thank you. 8035995 is the number. Of course, we're doing what no other leader in this country is willing to do, and that is make ourselves accountable to the people and to our people. And so that's why I'm taking the time to do this. This is something that we will also do in government. We must always answer to the people. They are our bosses. And like I said, if people put their trust in me and their faith in me, I cannot disappoint them. I cannot let them down. You know, there are people who get riled from their family because they're supporting us on their jobs. They get cussed out. You know, people standing up for us, defending us. I can't do anything that's going to hurt them. And that's why I personally had to stand up for what was right. And that's why others in that room decided to unanimously stand up for what was right. All right. And of course, the trolls came out there and they went and started spreading misinformation and nonsense. And I don't think people are actually falling for it, but hopefully they won't. But in the meantime, we're going to continue to do what we have to do. All right. We got 1,659 people on here across our various platforms. And if anyone wants to call, 803-5995 is the number. You're free to do so. Of course, fake profiles don't ever want to call because they don't want people to hear their voice. So they'll just go on there and spread lies. So if trolls are here, we're taking trolls. We're taking calls from trolls also. All right. We're taking calls from trolls also. So if any trolls are on here, don't waste your time on here. Just texting. Just call us in. Call us in. All right. So, well, that's it. So 803-5995 is a number. But ladies and gentlemen, we had to do what is right. Now we are moving on to forming the new Bahamas. Maria Daxon will be a part of that unless she decides to move on. But what I said to you just now in a nutshell, and those who were in the room know that I didn't say the details of what was said, but I generally said what the situation was because there was some person saying stuff back and forward. You know, persons told me that there were persons on social media cussing me out and that kind of stuff. Man, that's fine, man. You all know I got tough shoulders. There's nothing that anyone can say to me now that can move me. My eye is on the prize of a new Bahamas. My eyes are concerned that we are losing this country. I don't have time for small talks. I don't have time for anything that is not towards saving this nation. I don't care about anyone's opinion of me as long as I know that I'm doing the right thing. They could cuss me, they could call me anything in the world because they called Jesus the devil. All right. And he was coming here to save them. And so I'm not better than Jesus. All right. And so That's it. Um, yes. Some strange person here with a fake profile. Y'all do Maria in. All right, y'all do Maria in. I want to take a little pause there because we were, for those who are still on here, we have some money to give away. We have some gas vouchers to give away. It's actually we're going to give out $200 in gas vouchers. We have a little commercial break while we do it. But let me take this call first, and then we're going to give away $200 in gas vouchers. So just give me a second. Good evening, you're live.
Good evening, Lincoln.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Awesome.
Listen, I want to congratulate you for a job well done. Y'all did a great job. Everything was in place. Everything was in order, organized. And, the process with Maria understand what happened. She understands. I believe she's just hurt, but she accepts. We love Maria. It's great opportunity for Maria. Maria could even be the AG, so she could lock them all, up. And we're not worrying about that. We're moving forward now. We all moving forward. We're moving forward in unity and love. We have a job to do. We ain't looking back. We're looking forward. And congratulations, everything did look, professional. Everything was done, in all unity. So don't worry about them. Let the troll talk. Let them talk, Lincoln.
Yeah.
They let them talk. They jealous. That's the problem. They hiding their feelings, but they jealous. They don't like what we have done and how we together, and they using that. But Maria Daxon trying to create problem and trying to make things look like what we against Maria. We love Maria, and Maria know we love her, and ain't nothing can stop Maria. Maria is a fighter. She is a freedom fighter. Ain't nothing can stop us from loving Maria, and Maria can continue to do what she has to do. She can continue to keep Brave Davis foot to the fire.
Yes.
And she that foot to the fire. Maria ain't one but them. She can still do her activist work. So it free her up to do more her own work, and she still have a lot of opportunity. So we love Maria. We love Maria. I love Maria. I'll fight for Maria.
Yes. Yeah, me too.
All right. Encouraged, and Maria must be encouraged. If she listening tonight, be encouraged, Maria. They ain't got nothing on you.
Yes.
No one got nothing on you. I will fight them. I will fight them with fist fight, and I will fight them with neology fight.
And you were a delegate, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We love Maria, and Maria understood, and the process went smoothly. So there's no if and no but. The rule is the rule, the law is the law. I accept it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Yeah, so the lady that was a delegate, and we had to follow the rules, and nothing else we could do with that. We got a quick message for you, and then after the message, I'm going to be giving out $200 worth of gas vouchers. So it's going to be interesting. All right. So we got a quick message for you.
face victimization, incarceration, and even threats to our...
I am so sorry you lost audio just now. I'm sorry. I'm going to correct that. Um, uh, sorry, we had some technical difficulties. Uh, okay, let's fix it. All right. All right, here we go.
our lives. Yet, today is April 16th, 2024. To our viewers, members, supporters, and the nation at large, hello. I extend a heartfelt greeting and message of encouragement to each of you. In these times, the importance of our collective efforts cannot be overstated. The Coalition of Independence has embarked on a noble journey towards a new Bahamas, a journey filled with determination and unwavering resolve. We stand united in our commitment to not allow any barriers, be they man, woman, child, external or internal forces, to hinder our mission of delivering our people to the promised New Bahamas. This mission demands that we navigate through the desert, armed with resilience and guided by informed decisions towards our envisioned future. The path we thread is not without its challenges. Since our initial start in 2020, advocating for the rights and welfare of our people, we have encountered resistance, faced victimization, incarceration, and even threats to our lives. Yet, it is through these trials that our strength and unity shine brightest. We rise time and again, fortified by our collective purpose and the divine ordination of our movement. Our journey demands of us the courage to make difficult, sometimes uncomfortable decisions. Accountability both to our organization and the nation is paramount. We must transcend personal egos to fulfill our duties effectively, ensuring that any leader falling short of their responsibilities is duly addressed. This is a call to action, not of personal ambition, but of collective responsibility towards achieving our goals. Let us not be swayed by discouragement or dismay. The Coalition of Independence is here to stay, destined to overcome any obstacles. Though we may lose some along the way, divine providence is at work, bringing new strength to our ranks. Where 10 may leave, 50 will join, a testament to the vibrancy and resilience of our cause. I urge you, dear members and supporters, to remain steadfast and focused. Our goal is clear: to reach the New Bahamas. While roles and positions may evolve, our mission and vision stand immutable. I decree and declare, in the mighty name of Yeshua, that our destination is within reach. Let us unite our voices, carrying forth the message of change that resonates as strongly today as it did yesterday. The dawn of the New Bahamas is upon us, my fellow Bahamian. Change is not coming. Change is here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. The phone line is ringing again. Let me take this phone call on the phone line. Good afternoon. You're live. Hey, how you doing?
I'm pretty good myself. I supported you guys in the last election.
Yeah.
Right? But I believe you just shot yourself in the foot by trying to do this thing with such diplomacy with respect to Maria Daxon.
Uh-huh.
Maria Daxon was the biggest gun. I mean, you're the bigger gun, but she was next to you, the biggest gun. So
okay.
You was on this thing. This election, this upcoming election, there's no way you're going to get all the seats that you want. So you'll probably get a few seats. And you need guns like Maria out there to fight the new deputy leader.
I don't know. I don't know if you're confused. No one is saying that. No one is stopping Maria from fighting. No one is stopping. She is still able to go and fight. She's still able to run in the party. She's still the Minister of National Security, able to speak up on issues pertaining to that or any issue in the country. So no one is stopping her from doing anything, sir.
Of course not. But the thing is, you left when you leave out there. Now you leave out there for somebody to know.
We didn't leave out there, sir. As you heard several delegates call in and say, there were rules in place, and the delegates decided to go by the rules. What do you want me to do? Override the delegates at a convention?
But hold on. See, the thing is, you trying to play the game that the other parties play. They're already established parties.
What do you mean the game that they play? They don't go by the rules. Every convention they have, people are complaining about, skullduggery, etc. We decided that we have to the rules, my brother.
Just give me a second.
Go ahead.
They don't go by the rules that they've established a long time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they put key factors in place to make sure they get upper hand, whatever they do.
Yeah.
Right? And listen, the country needs change. Definitely the country needs change. I'm on board 100%.
Thank you, man.
But we need that big gun in there to make a change.
My brother, let me help you. She's still in there unless she decides not to be. Bradley Roberts was the biggest gun in the PLP. That didn't mean he had to be deputy leader or leader. You don't need the most aggressive person in the party to be leader or deputy leader. Different people can play different roles in a party. Okay?
So the only person they got to depend on right now, really, right? Is you. You've been doing a good job bringing the people.
Why would you say that? If Maria decides that she doesn't want to be in the party, then that's up to her. Let me tell you something, my brother. I'd rather go down doing what's right than stay up doing what's wrong.
You take those right then and into the midst of the House Assembly?
Yes. It wasn't legal, but it was right.
You got to do the wrong thing sometimes to make it happen.
You're talking about a total different scenario. My brother, parties survive these kinds of things. Cecil Wallace Whitfield and all the brains of the party left the PLP shortly after they won. The PLP survived for another 20 years, more than 20 years. Okay? They've had several splits in different parties, and they survived. The difference is, all it is an election process. And if someone doesn't win or doesn't qualify or something happened, if we send our girls to run the Olympics and one of them dropped the baton, we can't tell the people, man, they was last year champions, man, just push them through, man. There are rules, my brother.
One of the biggest problems I have with the COI.
Right.
Right? The COI like to play in diplomacy. You like to be the good guys. You need to be a bad guy sometimes.
That's amazing that you say that, because everyone else calls us the bad guys. They say we're not diplomatic. They say the opposite.
Lincoln, I think you're only radically enough. See, because
thank you, man.
I really believe, the country ain't gonna get turned over peacefully and through diplomacy and placards and different things. Listen, a revolution for this country to change and go in a different direction is going to really call for some serious and drastic measures to this. And unfortunately, like I said before, one of the biggest guns who was people used to get fired up and see out there making a protest against certain conditions around the country.
Some people got fired up and some people got annoyed when we were out there. So it goes both ways.
People who supported the party that said government that got annoyed, right? But right now it's very easy for Pentagon right now to throw all the brands out to Maria Daxon. I said, Maria, I'm sorry, whatever I did to you in the past. come on board. Let's make this thing happen.
Okay, then she has every right to do so. I mean, that she will lose credibility, but she has every right to do so.
Bahamian politicians don't have no credibility. You don't care for that. They don't even win. You know that?
No, Maria has credibility that she doesn't just want to win. She stands up on integrity.
But most of them who go with you have integrity.
Yeah, I understand your point. You're saying that we should have just broken the rules. I can't go against the convention. Listen, the convention could have taken the court they wanted to if I went against what they voted at the convention. So I don't understand what you wanted me to do, but
From what I understand, from what you're saying, I haven't clearly heard why she wasn't given the nod.
We made that clear. Maybe you missed that part of it, but we made that clear.
I probably did. But sometimes I think he said she was in a form or something in time or somebody should have given her a heads up.
No, that was what it was. But if you wasn't listening after the show, go back and listen to it again, and maybe you will see you heard from people who were there.
Did she want to say maybe I should have gotten a heads up on certain things?
Say again?
Didn't she indicate that she should have gotten a heads up?
Yeah, she felt that way. There were delegates who didn't agree with her. She wanted.
That's just second. Why you didn't give a heads up?
How can you assume that I didn't?
But she said she didn't get one.
Okay. Would you seriously? We're running an organization. She was talking about being reminded about coming to and I don't want to go into all these fine details, but she was talking about being reminded to come to nomination day. She had another event that she went to, Defense Force Family Day, that she went to instead. I don't think they gave her a heads up to go, but she wanted a heads up in order to come to where we were. But that's not here or there. I'm not going into all of these details because that's not the public's business. Just that there were rules and the rules had to be followed. I thank you for your support. I appreciate your support. And I hopefully the new Bahamas is more important than these small trivial things that people is going to go away. All right, my brother. All right. I mean, at the end of the day, no one is still talking about Glenasana Martin and all she had to say that Brave Davis did with whatever they did in their convention. No one is still talking about Alfred Sayers and all he had to say about what Perry Christie did in their convention. No, you don't want to be with them. But at the end of the day, individuals have to decide if they want to continue to move on, or if they don't want to continue to move on. And as simple as that. All right. So, all right, I got some money to give away for those who are still on here. They told me to give some trivia in order for you all to do that. First person who can actually call, I'm not taking texts. First person who can call by WhatsApp or regular line and tell us what date was the Constitution of the Coalition of Independence officially ratified. Tell me the date that the Coalition of Independence was officially ratified. The first person to call in to tell us that date. I need a pen or I need you to take these names. Good afternoon, you're live. Good afternoon. Hello. Hello. Don't lose your lesson now. I can't hear you. Well, I'm gonna have to hang up. I can't hear you. Okay, got another person. All right, we got a $500. Sorry, what am I saying? Jesus. We got a $50. We have four $50 gas vouchers. Four $50 gas vouchers totaling $200. So this is the first $50 one. Caller, can you hear me? Can you hear me, caller? Caller, can you hear me? Yes, caller, you're live. Okay, you are correct. I see your name on the phone. So you're going to get a $50 gas voucher. You can get it from our headquarters, okay?
Thank you.
All right, you win. So we're gonna give out another gas voucher. Okay, we have another question now. Oh God, people calling in. All right, okay, pause now. Hold on. Someone gave that answer. We have another question. Jesus, everyone calling in. I was Sharinda Ferguson. All right, we got another question. I see people calling, but you all won't know the answer to the next question. All right. The next question. What year? I won't make this too difficult for y'all because it's only $50. Oh Lord, this one calling from Crooked Island. All right. Yeah. Hold on. You gotta wait, caller. And now let me give the question. What year was Bahamian evolution formed? What year was Bahamian evolution formed? Give me just the year that we formed Bahamian. I want to ask you for the month and date. Good evening. Your live is a $50 gas voucher. Good evening. How are you?
Mr. Man, I'm doing just fine. I was trying to get this number to encourage you to tell you, man. I know that Maria, and you know, man, she would be disappointed if you compromise for her. That's all I want to call in.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
You're welcome, sir. You be encouraged.
All right.
Okay, sir. Have a good night.
All right. He says the Marie he know would be disappointed if we compromise for her. Okay, we got a call on the line who will answer the trivia. Good afternoon, you're live.
The revolution formed in 2020.
All right, good answer. The evolution formed in 2020. All right, let me give you a number. Oh Lord, everyone calling now. Let me give you a phone number. To our team in here. Oh Lord, everyone calling. Sorry, someone didn't give the answer. Too slow. You gotta be quicker than that. We got two more $50 gas vouchers to give away. Two more $50 gas vouchers. You'll just hold one sec. Let me just give you. All right. What's your name? Cambridge? All right. Okay. We got your name and your number. You can come tomorrow to the headquarters to pick it up. All right? All right. You see people still calling in. Our Lord. Okay. We got another question for you. All right, we got another question for you. Tell me the month that the Coalition of Independence was started. The month and year that the Coalition of Independence was formed. And I'm talking about when we first formed, when we were independent candidates working together. Tell me the month that we were formed. All right. Tell me the month. Okay, here we go. Got a call on the line. Good afternoon. We got a $50 gas voucher. Tell me the month and year that the Coalition of Independence, the first group of independents working together, were formed. Go ahead, caller. Which year? 2023. No, boy, you was right there, but you miss it. All right. What month and year was the Coalition of Independence formed? Good evening, caller. How are you? Caller, you there? You live?
Yeah, the month is May
And what's the year?
2020.
May 2020. No, you are incorrect, and it wasn't May or 2020. Thank you, man. All right, let's take another caller. Give me the month and year that the Coalition of Independence was formed. Go ahead, caller. Yes, go ahead, caller.
Was it January 2021?
Nope.
Okay, thank you.
You got the year, but not the month. Good afternoon. You're live. Go ahead, caller.
Is it March 2021?
Oh my God. Yes, caller, you have it absolutely correct. You are correct. All right, let's get your information. I'm going to get your information. All right, just sending your information in. Yeah, I got it. I have you on the call ID actually. Okay, hold on one sec. I just need to get your phone number for them. All right, I'll get it afterwards. All right, oh, it's here. All right, we have one more voucher to give away. All right, there you go. We got you, caller. So you can come in and get your voucher, all right?
Thank you.
All right. Hold on. Phone still ringing. Hold on. We got one more question. Hold on. We got one more question. All right. After the elections, the Coalition of Independence decided to form an official party and to register their organization with the government, which made it actually official. What month and year did that happen? We formed an official party, not just independents working together. Jesus, this caller got in just before you, caller. Okay, here we go. You're live. What year did we become an official party and month? Go ahead, caller, you're live. Caller, you're live. You will miss your blessing. Okay, they ain't saying nothing. Good evening, caller, you're live. Good day, go ahead, you're live. Hold on. Say again? No, you're wrong. All right, caller, go ahead. I'm answering two phones. I'm so sorry. Caller, what year and month did the Coalition of Independence officially file with the government to become an official party, not independent candidates working together? Go ahead.
2021?
Month.
The month?
Yeah.
January?
Nope, wrong. Good evening, you're live. September 2021? Which one is your final answer?
November 2021.
You sure? That's your final answer?
Yes, that's my final answer.
Okay, you are absolutely correct. You sound like you cheating. Sound like you going through them government files. All right. Thank you, caller. Let me just get your info. Okay, I have your information.
Okay, thank you.
All right. You know, we love the fact that we were able to make so much people happy over the last couple of days. We had a lady walk away with a brand new vehicle, SUV. That was fabulous. And we had a lot of people win a lot of other prizes. And we gave away $50 gas vouchers. But let me give you a surprise. The voucher is in legal tender. So it's going to be cash. So you could actually spend it on whatever you want. You could have whatever you like. So it's actually going to be cash. You can spend it on gas. You can put it on your light bill. You can buy some groceries, whatever you want. So it's actually going to be $50 cash you're going to put in your hand. And that's your gas voucher. All right. So we we're glad we could put a smile on some other people's face tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, we don't know what the future holds. We hope that we can come together and move past this. If not, I can tell you that our country is falling apart, and nothing is more important than saving this nation. This is not about personalities, and if I offend you, uh, uh, listen. If I am doing wrong, you need to get rid of me. All right. This is not about personalities. This is about we have to save this nation. We have to put our best foot forward, and we have to do it in the best way possible. We all love Maria. She's a national hero. I think that the trolls have vindicated her. They've definitely vindicated her. They have shown us that Maria isn't as bad as they were saying. All right. So I think that's a gotcha moment for them. And I think that they put their absolute foot in their mouth. But of course, you know what trolls do. So Fred Mitchell is going to tell them everyone didn't watch that live. So just keep spreading the nonsense, keep spreading the mud. So that's up to you as our supporters to go out there and say exactly what happened, what the facts is, what the truth is. Again, we didn't say any of the details of what was said in that meeting or what anyone had to say negatively or positively. But we just wanted to stick to what the circumstances were and what it was. All right. Now, people are going to go out there and speculate that PLP said from last year that they were going to change Maria. Of course, anyone speculates. Anytime a convention is coming up, there's always speculation. Oh, Chester Cooper is plotting on Brave Davis. Brave Davis is plotting on Perry Christie. Oh, they want to move Perry Christie and they want to put Brave Davis there. And you watch the punch, you see all that. That's what people do. All right. And they use it to try to stir up trouble. And small minds grab onto that. All right, let's talk about vision and ideas now. That's what big minds talk about. We're not talking about people and personalities. Let's talk about what's going on in this country and where we're going to take this country in our next life. I wanted to be accountable to our people and accountable to the Bahamian people as I've always been. I always tell people, and not one troll called. So don't entertain their conversations. They're cowardice. They want to go on social media and spread nonsense, but not one of them called in to say what they have to say. Not one of them called, and of course they were watching. But of course, their purpose is just to get paid or get contracts to spread nonsense. Don't follow them. All right? Don't follow anyone up. And I think that we're going to do the right thing. And like Solomon said, if you see one person wants to kill the baby, another person wants the baby to survive, you know who the real mother is. You know who really loves the mission. So if someone's out there spreading propaganda, et cetera, you know what the deal is. And if someone's out there trying to save the baby, that's a different story. So we've done our 2 hours tonight. We have made ourselves accountable. So when the trolls start running on WhatsApp or whatever, just tell them they're cowards because they had their chance to call and they didn't. And so we're moving forward, and we're not just about activism now. We are about organizing a strong crew of people that can take this country back, that can take us into the new Bahamas. Qualified persons ready to stand up and end the corruption. Real Bahamians, regular Bahamians, but real Bahamians, qualified Bahamians. That's what the mission is now. So thank all of you for watching this. We love you. Maria, we love you. I'm going to see you soon. We appreciate everything you've done for the Bahamian people, but it's time to continue on into the new Bahamas. Again, the trolls are going to continue to do what they were doing. So you have the ammunition now to correct them. Of course, they're going to find other lies to spew out there, but they had a chance to come on here, any of them, and to say what they had to say, but they didn't. So you know what that means. Evil likes darkness. Truth loves the light. And here we are with the lights on, with the chance for you to call in, several numbers for you to call in. Of course, one number with several lines for you to call in. And of course, they ain't call in. So tell them, shut up, and let's move on. Let us save this new Bahamas. Let's focus on the people who are raping and robbing us and trying to distract us while they're taking everything that belongs to us. Ladies and gentlemen, my next live is on Sunday at 5 p.m. We're getting back to business. Join the party. Make sure you're part of what we're doing, of everything we're doing. Again, thank you to all of you who made our convention possible. It was a fabulous event. Now it's time for war. Okay, we're going to war. So stay tuned. you're going to see a lot more of the Coalition of Independence and what we're about. So it's time to focus on what's important, real leadership in this country. God bless you. I love you. See you soon.
You know, a lot of people wonder how Dubai became a very big, famous and rich city.
You see, if you're comparing with Nigeria, listen to this. Nigeria has oil before than Dubai. It's a history. They are more rich than us. They have agriculture, they have mining, they have everything, you name it, they have it. Am I right or wrong? When you have a true leadership, which we have nothing, but we have everything because we have the right leadership. That's the only thing you need, a right leader for your country, not corruption. That's what brings your country at the top. You don't need anything. We want water, we don't have agriculture, we don't have mining.
That's quite interesting.
And that's Sheikh Mohammed. Number one, he doesn't know number two, he needs only number one. He says, I don't know, there's no number two in my book. Only number one.
I hear he doesn't ride in a convoy.